I propose we can begin the meeting. Welcome, everybody. It's a pleasure for us to can attend this first English version of this webinar. Just before to give the floor to Emmanuel, I'd like to inform you that this webinar will be recorded, as some contacts of GAREAT are in time zone that are not, it is not possible for them to attend today. People in United States, where the back office of some companies who are member of GAREAT are, and people who are in Pacific, New Caledonia, and Polynesia. So it will be recorded, and this record will be available on our website tomorrow or at the end of the week after some kind of just last advice, please use the mute mode of your phone or device to avoid difficult to understand. And we will have two parts in this presentation. Some short information regarding GAREAT. We propose you can ask questions at the end of each short presentation. And for the Mazar demo, we propose you wait for the Q&A part of the meeting to optimize, to have a good flow for the demo of the platform. I will propose to you to show the agenda of the webinar. I will let Emmanuel open this webinar in some seconds. We will give you some key data regarding the SMS section 2023 to help you to understand the reason we ask you to give us some data, technical data or financial data, of course. And we will present you the workings background and the 2023 update of the Mazar declaration website before a demo. And as I said, kindly ask the Q&A part to ask questions regarding the demo. You will be able to ask questions regarding the other part at the end of each presentation. Emmanuel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Stéphane. So good morning everyone. I'm very happy to be with you. It's a big success. I see that we are more than 50 attendees. So it was a very good idea to have the English sessions. As Stéphane said, it's the first time, but I think we need to have always one session in English and one session in French and one session in English. So let me introduce myself. I'm in charge of SME insurance business in Pacifica. Pacifica is a subsidiary of Crédit Agricole Assurance. Pacifica is the part of property and casualty insurance. But today I'm here as a chairwoman of the small and medium size risk technical committee of GAREAT. So why we are here? Because we think that it's very important to have exchange between all the members of GAREAT and the pool. And we want also to present you all the work the pool has done, and so as Stefan said, you will have two parts. So the first part is to explain the pool for people who don't know how it works and how SMR is very, very specific. So it's important to know how it works. And the other part is also to show you the improvement the pool has done, and especially the new platform which is built at the moment. And this platform is a key point because, you know, we need accurate data. We need reliable data to calculate our different scenarios, to have the right capacity, and so to show our reinsurers how our models are reliable. So I know that it's the same thing, I think, for your reinsurance in your companies. So in our case, we need capacity, so we need to buy reinsurance, and so our reinsurers need to be confident with our data. So I hope that this webinar will be very interesting for you, and I'm counting on you for having reliable data. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emmanuel. No, I will leave the floor to Alda to present our scheme. As we know that the small and medium-sized risk scheme is most difficult to understand as the large risk scheme. Thanks, Alda, for you.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Emmanuel. Let me introduce myself for those who don't know me already. I'm Alda Dosres, and I'm Secretary General at GAREAT. So what you see on the screen is the reinsurance schemes of small and medium risks for 2024 on the left side, and 2023, sorry, on the left side, and 2024 on the right side. You have on the top of the scheme the CCR groups for the stop loss, the unlimited stop loss, which is placed at 100% with CCR, as you may know. What we can say is that this scheme that was set up in 2013 remains unchanged. We have deductibles at 20 million minimum, and we can have collective cedants or individual ones for the attachment points. So for 2023, we have 12 groups, the same as the previous year. We have 5 groups composed with one single member, and 7 encompassing collective ceding companies in the other groups. The idea is to always have an attachment point as close as possible of the 20 million figure, of course, to have the best cover with this stop loss, of course. It's important to say that this protection inures to the benefit of the GAREAT's reinsurance program that is placed on the reinsurance market. And we can see on the below the screen, on the screen below, we can see the scheme for this market program. You have the layer 1, which is in blue, which is the 50 million co-insurance line shared with all the members of the small and medium risks. You have then the layer 2 in yellow, that is the annual stop loss cover with a total capacity of 450 million, which is entirely placed on the reinsurance market. And then you have the layer 3 on the top, that is estimated for 2023 at 111 million, in excess of 500 million. And this layer, what is important to retain, this layer is retained for an account by the members. Why? Because the exposure is not so high thanks to the geographical diversification of the portfolio. So that was a decision confirmed by the technical committee to retain this layer. The program's estimated total limit that we obtain by adding up the retentions of each member's attachment points is consequently at 611 million for 2023. As you know, GAREAT places its programs 1 year in advance. So this program 2023 was placed at the end of 2021. We can say that we have already renewed the 2024 program that you can see on the screen too, on the right side. There is no change. We have always 12 groups with the CCR Unlimited Treaty, and we have the same structure on the market program with the same limits. Of course, the top annual top limit will be calculated later when we will receive your premium information, but the structure is the same. What we can say is that this program was placed with, we can say, a lot of difficulties, because you are certainly aware of the tightening of the market that occurred during last renewal, and we can thank our broker, Aon Re, that managed to place this program 1 year in advance with acceptable and good conditions. If you have no questions, we can go on, or you can ask your questions later, as you wish. We have one
yes,
question.
Tariq, a question?
Yes. Hello, Stefan. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Just a quick question. Is my understanding correct that we will not change the limit of 20 million for the GAREAT members? Because I saw on the schema that you were sharing 15 million.
En fait, leur rétention est seule, ils retrouvent 50 millions.
Your question is about the 20 million threshold?
Exactly, for the GAREAT members, because on the schema you have for the first layer 50 million. Is something that has changed this year, or?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't change. But what do you say? 50 million? It's the retention for the co-reinsurance, the 50 million.
But for not for the members, is my understanding correct that for the members we keep the 20 million as exposure for the GAREAT members as the first line?
No, because the members don't keep 50 million. It's the whole layer.
Okay, okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, if there is no other question regarding the scheme, and we will be able to detail this scheme with an example proposed by Jean in a few minutes. If you have no questions regarding the scheme, let me give you some key data regarding the small and medium-sized risk section in 2023. After the speeches of Emmanuel and Alda, you understand that it is very important for us to have your data to benefit from your reporting. For on quality basis or quantity basis, your data and the quality and the complete reporting from you is really important to optimize, to improve our process, of course, and to increase the profit of the SMR section. And if we increase the profitability of the section, we will give you an increased share of the result that is paid to you as a premium to remunerate the capital you have tied up regarding your share in the retention. As Alda said, in the primary layer, in the top layer, and in case of part of the loss that are not covered by CCA. So all our works, the price of the reinsurance depend on the quality and the totality of your reporting. So we need you. And to you better understand what it is important for us to have your data, let me give you some key data regarding the pool. On the current figure, you can see that the members' premium 2022 estimated premium are roughly 4.4 billion euros, divided for 40% in motor, 43% in property individuals, and 12% for the profession. If we change this members' premium in GAREAT reinsurance premium, the 2023 GAREAT reinsurance premium is estimated to 25 million euros that are split for 54% for the individuals, 35% for the professional, as the reinsurance rates are really different depending on the line of business. You understand that professional have a part of the GAREAT premium that is most important than the market share in the members' premium. I will not detail these figures. You have three information to memorize, to have in your memory with these figures. You have to note that there is an increasing income for GAREAT small and medium-sized risk pool since 2016, a continuous increasing linked with new members as GAREAT and GAREAT small and medium-sized risk session are today systematic way for free provision of service insurers operating in France. So we have years by years new members, and our members have an increasing income that is most important than the remaining market. The second information you have to memorize is that there is a continuous change and adjustment between the estimated premiums and revised premiums that are linked some economical reason or for example, in 2018, we changed our SMR reinsurance rates when we merged the 0 to 6 million euro segment and the 6 to 20 million euros segment. And third information, we have always an adjustment between the revised premium and the estimated premium linked to different reason. For example, the hardening market in insurance, property insurance. All of this figure will be available on our website tomorrow. I would like to remember it is necessary to have a credential to access the website. So if you are not registered on our website already, kindly do it today to receive our push mail tomorrow. And the links to these figures and the other part of this webinar, for example, the record of the webinar and the slide, the presentation from Maza. To complete this part regarding the key data of the section this year, let me explain to you that beside the data we are used, we used to set up the reinsurance scheme, as Alda said, to set up our financial flow. An important part of your data are used for modeling. GAREAT is in competition with other pools. Poolry in United Kingdom, IPC in Australia, Extremis in Germany, for example. All these pools use reinsurance like GAREAT, but the terror capacity, the worldwide terror capacity is quite limited. So to benefit, to be able to place the overall scheme like we did last year, it is necessary to give to our reinsurance the better data they are interested to give their capacity to GAREAT. And to set up this modeling, we use two complementary approaches. First of all, the approach known as GAREAT's scenario, that is a determinist approach based on possible CBNR attack in France. In this approach, we assess the exposure of the pool in the 10 largest cities in France, depending on our market share in this city. Let me remind you that the total market share of GAREAT SMR is roughly 13%, but we can have a higher or lower market share in some cities. So we measure and assess our exposure in the 10 largest cities in France. And to do it, it is necessary for us to have the best data you have in your portfolio. The second approach is set up by Aaron. It is a conventional approach, an assessment of our exposure in case of conventional attack, depending on our market share in some cities in France. And I will let Thomas present this approach in a few minutes. Regarding the GAREAT scenarios approach, this approach relies and is based on two key framework. We use a scenario of CBNR explosion attack in the 10 largest cities in France, with loss that are from 500 million euro to 10 billion euros, and with maximum possible loss that is 5%. This 5% is to avoid that the event can cause the total loss of Paris, for example. So we use the 5% PMO to limit the impact of the scenario in Paris. On the basis of this market scenario, 500 to 10 billion euros, and this PMO of 5%, you can see in the right figure that in case of CBNR events, GAREAT, small and medium-sized risk section, would not be impacted in excess of 500 million euro. The reason is our market share, and the second reason is the division of our portfolio all over the France and in some different line of business depending on our members. So this study proving that our exposure is not above 500 million euro is the reason for our technical committee not to purchase some reinsurance for the top layer in excess of the program 550 in excess of 50 million euro. Okay, and now let me I give the floor to Thomas Giraudot from Aaron that will be able to present the Aaron approach, and after all we will be able to answer your questions if so. Thomas?
Sure. Thank you, Stefan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with you today. I am Thomas Giraudot from Rendez. I am your reinsurance broker for the small and medium risk. I work with Alda, Stéphane Spalacci, and Stéphane Delanger. I am in charge of the reinsurance. and especially for the external layer, the 450 in excess of 50 million euros. I am in charge of the negotiation of the price, of course, and the placement of the program with the reinsurers. As you know, the last renewal was quite hard, quite difficult, generally speaking, on CAT programs and also on MTPL. The market turned around and the price have significantly increased. The placement were complicated. It was unfortunately the case also for the GAREAT, but we managed to finalize the placement just in time with ALDA. So regarding the data, thanks to the work of the GAREAT team, of course, and also the support and the work of the Mazars team, we have taken an important step those last years to improve all the framework regarding the data quality in order to have a better understanding of your risk, of course, and also to have better modeling results. It is very important for the negotiation with the reinsurers. So we have a question or a remark? No? Okay, I continue. So regarding the modeling, Stefan presented previously the GAREAT approach based on a scenario approach. On the side, our modeling is based on two approaches. First, on the left part of the slide, we have the blast of the Seveso sites, as we had in 2001 with the AZF event in Toulouse. The model was built by our CAT modeler team with the help of the INERIS. INERIS is a governmental agency. As we can see for the results, the main risks are based in the chemistry valley near the city of Lyon. The top value, as we can see, the top value reached around 160 million euros, which is quite relatively high, but it remains below, much lower than the limit of the 500 million euros of the program. And on the right side of the slide, we have the approach based on the 200 meter circles with a total destruction rate of 100%. It is, of course, the Solvency II approach, which is very conservative. As you can see, the main circles are located in Paris due to the concentration of building and professional risk. And here we can see that the top values reach 130 million euros, more or less. And it is the same conclusion. It's quite high, but it remains lower than the limit of the program. So here in conclusion, those results are shown and shared with the reinsurers during the renewal, during the negotiation. We have also some meeting with them during the year to explain them more deeply how it works in total transparency. So the data, as Stefan said before, the data quality remains very important for the modeling, for the result, and also for the negotiation with the reinsurers. They are very interested by the evolution of the exposure of your risk from last year to the next year. And so thank you again for your support, for your help. And I'll give the floor to Stefan back. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas. Just before continuing, I will come back on previous slide. You can see in the bottom of the slide, today, our modeling is based on 96% for residential home insurance and 70% for professional risks. In a few minutes, Jean, we will show you an example of how our modeling is made. But please take in account that 96% for home insurance is a good job, but 70% for professional. We need to increase and to improve our the representativity of the professional in our modeling. Let me remind you that Alda said that the key data of the SMS scheme is the CCR threshold of each group in case of collective accident, roughly 20 million euro.
Yeah.
The retention of
alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. هاني
primary.
يا البارح انا يا ريتك الفيديو اللي بعثه لك وسيم، انا نضحك وكعلي يضحك زاده.
Well, someone who is speaking in the same. Okay. The second key data for our scheme is the retention for the primary. That is 50 million euros. And if you take in account that a small or medium-sized risk can be 19 million euro, 19.9 million euro for professional risks, of course, you understand that one or two professional risks, more or less in 200 meters radius, is really important for the exposure of GAREAT. So this year, it is important we can improve our process and improve our data collection to increase this rate of 70% in professional risks. Okay. In case of you have questions for to Thomas or me regarding the modeling, have you? Some questions? Any questions? No, if not, we can continue, and we will explain in a few minutes, and we will show how to use the 2023 update of the platform. Just let me remind that the working background, it's the earning market Alda spoke about, and the impact of this earning market on capacities for terror pool. The need of more transparency regarding our exposures, because reinsurers have no other information than our exposure to give the price of the reinsurance. And the third point is the ongoing improvement process that we show to our reinsurers for a few years. The targets of our workings, it's mainly to secure the data collection process, to avoid you send email with your portfolio, for example, to optimize the process regarding the size of some files to download. For example, some insurers are declaring 1 million of risks in their portfolio. And to optimize the process for you. And the last point is to have really reliable data to improve our modeling. So I will let the floor to Jean to present with its team the 2023 update of the platform. maybe before this this demo, you may know that a few days ago there was an explosion in Paris, an accident, probably a gas explosion in Paris, damaging buildings in the center of Paris. And since for some years, we have decided in GAREAT, in case of explosion, accidental explosion, to stress our modeling to check they are in the good way to measure our exposure. We made a stress test with our small and medium-sized risk modeling after the explosion in Beirut. It was an ammonitrate plant that exploded, and we have ammonitrate plants in France, and we measured how our portfolio was exposed. Last week there was an explosion in Paris, and Jean will show you how we have stressed our modeling with this explosion that was an accidental explosion, but even if it was an accidental explosion, it is the same process as an attack in regarding the modeling. Jean, if you want to show your slides.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm going to share it. Thank you, Stéphane. So good morning, everyone. I'm Jean Vidal, and I'm running for both large risk and small and medium-sized risk sections for GAREAT analysis and data quality process. So as Stéphane mentioned it, a week ago, a few days ago, there was an explosion Rue Saint-Jacques in Paris, which was not a terrorist attack. So the pool has no commitment regarding to this example, but we've been deploying our models to this address on the GAREAT small and medium-sized portfolio. Last year, all the members of the section have been declaring to a platform that we will show you a little bit later, their portfolio, which is seeded to GAREAT. To that database, we've been running our model, and we found out that there are 112 locations within a 200 meters radius around the main location damage. This is the Solvency 2 scenario, the same one that Thomas talked about a bit earlier. These 112 locations correspond to 334 lines declared by GAREAT members. In some cases, there may be multiple goods, flats in the same building. That's why you have less location than lines. The GAREAT exposure, which is 100% destruction of any goods reinsured within a 200 meters radius, is about 56 million euros. And as we are both working, Maza is both working for large risk and small and medium-sized risk database, we've been checking that there was no location in the large risk database above 150 million euros. And the closest one was a 300 meters distance, so with a CLL of a little less than 50 million euros. There are top 10 exposures around Rue Saint-Jacques 277. The buildings are between 1.5 million euros commitments of GAREAT up to 7.5 million euros for a total of of about 40 million euros. So this is kind of concentrated. The group that are involved in this scenario, they are, so Halda introduced you earlier the 12 CCR group, which are gathering all the members of the section. There are eight of the groups are involved are exposed to this model, and the group 10, the highest one, is above 40 million euros. As it's CCR group with multiple numbers in it, it exceeds its franchise, which rises up to 21.5 million euros. So if we look at the spread, the commitment spread on this scenario. Oh, sorry, I heard that my screen is not shared. Can you see my? Yeah. So here you can see the spread. So as a reminder, there are 56 million euros exposure of GAREAT, and the top 10 exposures are up to 40 million euros. The spread, the commitment spread within the members, the CCR, and potentially the reinsurers. So there is one CCR group which gather multiple members with a franchise of 21.5 million euros. So on this scenario, the spread between all the actors are CCR 18.6 million euros, the members, the cedents, 37.9, and we won't go up to the reinsurer layer. So the reinsurer are not involved in this scenario. We've built a map of this scenario. As you can see, the red and yellow star is the 277 Rue Saint-Jacques, where the building that exploded. The red spots are the ones that are locating the top 10 exposures, and the other spots are the other 102 locations that could be damaged in that scenario within 200 meters. You can see that there are some buildings that are very, very close to the main location of the explosion. So thanks to the platform we've been deploying last year, we were able to present to GAREAT within a few days the stress test after the explosion. Last year, all the members of the section have been declaring through a platform their risk at the address file. This year, we will still ask to the members next week. Every members of the section is going to receive an email with a login and password to declare this risk at the address file. And added to that, all of the files that are declaring to GAREAT during the summer, I'm thinking about the appendices. There are 3 appendices declared to GAREAT, and the regulatory file too are asked for the members to be declared through this platform. And Pierre, which works in my team in Mazar, will now make you a demo of the platform that members are going to use for the next coming weeks.
Well, thank you, Jean. Everyone can hear me? Yes?
Yes.
I take that for yes. So I'm glad to take part in this meeting. I've been working with the GAREAT for 3 years, mostly on the major risk campaign, and also on the small and medium risk project. I will be your main point of contact regarding this platform. And the goal today is to give you a practical demonstration of the platform with 5 examples. Can you see my screen? Sorry, not yet.
Not yet.
Is it
No.
good at this moment?
It's okay. It's coming.
okay.
Yeah, perfect.
It's okay.
We can see it.
Okay, cool. The different steps I'm going to show you today are all detailed and explained in a tutorial that will be shared with you on the launching day of the campaign. So if anything is unclear or if I'm going too fast, do not hesitate to tell me. So firstly, you will receive a link in your email, and there are two steps to log in on the platform. The first step is different from the second step, so you will have two forms to complete. It means that you will have two different identification logins that you will receive on your email. Here is the first authentication form that you can see on the screen. And the second one will be different from the first one that you can see right now. Just one detail regarding this page. Here you have the generic address email you can use if you have any question regarding this platform. If you want, you can use the functionality forgot your password to reset your password if you forgot it, or if you want to change it. So here is the second login form you have to fill out. And then you will arrive on the home page of the platform. Let's begin with the home page. Firstly, you will have to select the language. You can change the language of the different interfaces of the platform. And then you can download on the question mark icon the tutorial of the platform. This tutorial will be accessible also on the GAREAT website. It will also be sent to you by email on the launching day of the campaign with the different credential regarding identification and password. So after having downloaded the tutorial, you can go on the campaign tab on your left. And you will be able to select the right campaign you want to complete. So in this case, it is 2023. When you arrive on the homepage of the campaign, you can firstly select the member you are declaring for. For some supervisors or for some, let's say, managers who are responsible for two entities, these persons will have to select the right member. But if you are only responsible for the declaration on one member, this member will be automatically set up, so you won't have to do any choice. Just a quick reminder regarding the data. You will have only access to the data of your member. Only the GAREAT on the Mazars team will have the entire access to the data of every member. So the data is divided between the different members. So once you selected the members you are declaring for, choosing the drop-down menu here on your right, you will be able to download the templates of the different files. To do so, you click on the drop-down menu just here, and you can select the file you want to download. So you have the risk at the address file GAREAT format, the risk at the address file CCR format, Appendix 1, Appendix 2, Appendix 3, and also the regulatory status IFR 1303. We will begin our examples with Appendix 1. So firstly, you download the Appendix 1 by clicking on Template to download. And once you have downloaded it, you can see it on your downloading list on your right. You will have to fill to complete your file with your premiums, with your sum insured, but also with the numbers of policies, as you did for the previous years. Once you completed it, you will be able to upload it on the platform by clicking on the icon just here. So you can select your file in local on your machine, and you can open it. You have to wait for the little pop-up message to appear, which says that the file was uploaded successfully. And then you will be able to go on the left on the Appendix 1 tab, on the Appendix 1 tab. This tab is useful for several reasons. It helps you to validate your data, to control if there's any mistake. And you will be able, if you want, to modify directly in this tab the figures you just registered. For example, you can modify the number of policies, the written premiums. And once you made your modifications, you will be able to save them by clicking on the Save button. Just one detail regarding this tab, and these details is also important for the Appendix 1, 2, or 3. If you want, you are not forced, you are not obliged to fill out an Excel file and to download it on the platforms. On the platform, sorry. It means that if you want, you can directly complete your data directly within this tab. Because some companies have only a few lines of business or a few policies to declare. So to make it easier, to avoid to have to complete a file, to upload it on the platform, you can directly complete your data within the online tool. So I continue. Once you save it, it will appear just here a pop-up message. If you want, you can download your Excel file, which will be updated with your figures. So here we are going to show you then the Appendix 3 file upload, which is relatively the same system as the Appendix 1. So here you download it and then you upload it on the platform. So you just download the template and then you complete it, and then you can upload it by clicking on the right icon just here. The Appendix 3 is quite the same system as the Appendix 1 because it is the same format, but we are talking about the estimated premiums for 2024. So here you download your template, and then you go on Appendix 3 just to validate the figures you just registered. You can modify them if you want, and then you have to save your data by clicking on the right icon. It's quite important to wait. Once you click on it, you have to wait for the little pop-up message to appear. It will confirm, it will guarantee you that the data is sent on our database, and it is well registered. And then, if you want, you can download your data on the top right corner. It will appear here. We will now go on with the Appendix 2 file. So regarding the Appendix 2 file, it is, let's say, a departmental view of the Appendix 1 file, which means that the premiums and the number of policies are distributed between the French department. Same system, same process. You upload the file on the platform, and then you will be able to go on the Appendix 2 file, the Appendix 2 tab, to just validate your data. So here I go in the Appendix 2 file. So as you can see, you have the different French department, and for each department, the different lines of business, personal lines, professional, agricultural, other property, and you will be able to fill out your data regarding the different French department. You can go down on the page to go on the other department, to go on the other pages by clicking on the different pages. So it is quite the same process as for the other two appendices. You save it and then you can download it if you want. So now we are going to mention the risk at the address file. Here, the exercise is quite different. As you know, you already did it last year. We brought some changes regarding the risk at the address file. The template hasn't changed between 2022 and 2023, but we added more, let's say, functionalities. One detail regarding the risk at the address file, the volumetry is quite high. For some members, it is thousands of lines. For others, it is hundreds of thousands of lines. So we strongly recommend to directly fill out the data in your Excel file and not to do it on the platform. It will be too long and too, let's say, too heavy to do so. So you select your file on the platform, completed. You can download if you want the template in local on your machine, and then you upload it on the file platform. So once you downloaded it, you will be able to go in risk at the address file to check your data. Regarding the risk at the address file, what you can see on the screen here are some red and orange cells. We are still deploying the controls regarding this risk at the address file, which means that the alert or the blocking control you're seeing right now won't necessarily be here the next week when you will try, for example, to add the risk at the address file. What I want to say about the risk at the address file is that we want to minimize the number of blocking controls we want to implement. We will implement, or we are implementing on the platform, because you won't be able to check your data on let's say several hundred thousand lines. It means that there will be only blocking controls on the elements that are essential for us to analyze afterwards. For example, the absence of some insured, the absence of address, which is quite difficult then to do our analysis or to do the kind of scenario Jean just showed us before. So I will come back to the risk at the address file tab, but firstly, we are going to mention the line of business. As you know, the line of business, there are different wording for every category, since every company has his own kind of wording. For example, for professional, some companies just put pro in minuscule or pro in majuscule. Some companies just enter P. Or other company respect the wording which is recommended by the GAREAT. But to facilitate, to make it easier for us to analyze the data afterwards, we implement a new, let's say, a new tab to help you, or to help us to categorize this data. So it means that for every wording you will have in your Excel file, pro, we have an example here, pro, partie agricole, autre, you will have to select the right category you're referring to. So here you can see that for pro, I can select professional. Here the page is in French, but it will be in English on the when we will deploy the platform. So it's important to do this kind of actions. It will make it easier for us to have, let's say, only one wording per category, and it will help us afterwards in our analysis. I will come back so briefly to the lines of business, to the risk at the address file tab.
Excuse me, Pierre, just before to go to the risk at the address, regarding the line of business, if you can come back to the previous figure, Pierre?
Yes.
Difficult, yeah?
I'm not sure I'm going to show you on.
Okay, not a problem. There are three for property line of business in our database: individual, professional, agricultural, and others. Today, others shouldn't be used in the French regulatory base. There are no others property damage anymore. If you have property policies, individuals are home policies, and any other policies except agriculturals should be professionals. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
We can continue.
So I go on. So you will be able directly on the risk at the address tab to verify your data and then to edit if you want your data. It means that if you want, you can change the figure for some elements, co-insurance share, for example, or the other tab. However, I recommend to do it directly on your Excel file because with the, let's say, data volumetry, it will be much easier to do your changes directly on Excel and to save it afterwards on the platform. It will be much easier. So, just one detail regarding the risk at the address file, we are going to mention the data quality tab. The data quality tab is helpful to you to see the percentage of data validation you will have per category or per column. You won't be able to, let's say, to check every sales, but this kind of functionalities give you a quick overview of the percentage of lines which are valid, which match the standards we ask for on the platform, and that will help us to, let's say, to better analyze your data. So you have a quick overview. It's all about, let's say, statistics, and that you can see on the data quality tab. The data quality tab is only, let's say, is only available or is only for the risk at the address file. For the appendix 1, 2, or 3, there will be blocking control, but it won't be in percentage because the number of, let's say, the number of data is quite small, and you have only a few cells to, let's say, to validate. I will finish this, let's say, this presentation with the data analysis tab. The main goal of the data analysis tab is to give you an overview, a comparison between different files you just uploaded. For example, between the appendix 1 and the appendix 2, between the appendix 1 and the appendix 3. Let's begin with the appendix 1 and the appendix 3, the appendix 2, sorry. As I said previously, the Appendix 2 is a departmental view of the Appendix 1. It means that the tool is going to consolidate the different departments per lines of business and to sum them to have a national view. And then it will compare it to the national view on the Appendix 1. The main goal of this, let's say, this comparison is to highlight the potential gap that you will have between the consolidated view on the Annex 2 and the global view on the Appendix 2 and the global view on the Appendix 1. You may use different kind of method of extraction from your internal tool to have both let's say both appendix, and we want to show you that there are potential gaps between, for example, for personal lines, because you have a lack of information, department information for some policies, let's say. There won't be any, let's say, blocking control if there are gaps, but it's more like the main goal is to inform you on these gaps. Then there's the Appendix 1 and the Appendix 2 comparison. Here the main goal is just to give you comparison between the two files. We are comparing on one side the premiums seen at the 31 December 2022, and you will have on the other side the premiums seen as 2024. So it's a comparison. Regarding the risk, regarding the comparison risk file on Appendix 2 on Appendix Evolution, it won't be available during the campaign, because we have to consolidate the data and to, let's say, analyze your data regarding the risk at the address file, especially the postal code, to have a comparison with the departmental view on the Appendix 2. So it will be available after the campaign, after the different processes and analysis we will have to do at the end of the campaign. Regarding Appendix Evolution, as you understand it, Appendix Evolution will be available next year, when you will have a comparison, when you will have, for example, downloaded Appendix 1 for 2024. Then there will be a comparison of the Appendix 1 between 2023 and 2024. So it won't be available now because you will only download the appendix for this year. Just before finish, what I want to highlight and to remind you is that these different steps and the different blocking controls will be available in the tutorials that will be sent to you by email. It means that if you have, let's say, an error message, it might come from the file structure you're using. It's quite important to only use the file you will download from the platform. You cannot change any column. You cannot change any lines, because we are, let's say, dealing with a lot of appendix, with a lot of files, and the machine won't be, let's say, the platform won't be able to recognize the file if you change any column or let's say the structure of the file. The second, the blocking control will be described in your tutorial, and if you are having difficulties regarding the connection or regarding, let's say, the upload of your file, or if the answer is not available on the tutorial, we invite you to contact us using the generic address email GAREAT Mazars that you saw at the beginning. Sorry. If you have any question, if you want any detail, please feel free. Yes.
Thank you, Pierre, for the presentation. So I have two questions. First one, for the accesses, is it an access by member, or we can, for example, have two accesses for the same company to the platform?
As the system is quite the same as the major risk campaign. Let's say, to limit the risk, we only give one access per member. It means that only one supervisor, only one manager will have access by a member. However, if you want to change, if you want to give access to switch the supervisor you want to access to, you can send us an email and we will just do the switch.
Okay, so one access per company. Second question,
Exactly.
as we have to deal with many companies for the same for our entity, the question is, can we upload different files, or it should be one upload, one shot?
If you are managing two companies, is that correct?
Different. We have at least 8 companies, so to manage. The question is, for example, if I have the data for Spain, Zurich, Spain, can I add in first time Zurich, Spain, and then when we receive the data from Belgium, we upload it, or should be one upload on the system?
It depends. Usually, are you consolidating the data of the different countries in one appendix?
Exactly, in one file. Yeah.
Okay. In this case, you will have, for example, for Appendix 1, you will have to consolidate firstly the data in one file and then upload it on the platform.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Tariq, there are some contacts that are in charge of back office for different members. For example, some companies decided that each subsidiary branch in Europe, even if they are in the same capital, in the same company, they decided it will be managed as different members for internal reason. In this case, the same contact may have different members, and in this case, he will upload for each company the overall process as it would be different companies and different contacts.
Okay, very clear, Stefan. Thank you very much.
I think you are in mute, Stefan.
Yeah, sorry. Regarding the process, have you any questions? I have to give you an information because some people who were in the former meeting yesterday asked if the platform will impact large risk process because we have members who are in the both pools. This platform is only for small and medium-sized risk pool. Large risk are still on the usual platform that is managed by Darva and Olivier Fauchard. There is no overcross between large risk process and small and medium-sized risk process, even if it is Maza that is managing this platform. It is dedicated to small and medium-sized risk pool. Have you any other questions? No, probably we can imagine it was clear. We understand that this demo can be difficult to understand in this short time. As I said, you will have on our website and on the platform tutorial record of this webinar to help you to use this platform. Regarding the schedule, we will send you in a few days the circular regarding the launching of the 2023 collection campaign. Probably we will start that in 1 week. We are ending the building of the platform, and probably it will be opened on next Wednesday. And we mean that the campaign should stop roughly on the 1st of September. we will confirm you that in the next circular. Is it okay for everyone?
Yes, very well. Thank you.
In case you have questions, you can ask us to explain, to answer for platform and technical questions regarding the process. You can ask to Pierre and the general email address. And for any insurance, reinsurance questions, of course, kindly ask to Stéphane Delanger during the campaign and before the launching. Is it okay for everyone? Nothing else? So thanks for your attendance. It was the first time we did this webinar in English version. So we hope it was okay for you. In case it was okay, but kindly talk all around you. In case it was not discreet, please. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Wish you a nice day. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
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 Thank you. Much appreciated. Bye-bye.
Bye.